Number 9, probably the most controversial quarterback in college football right now. That is Nico Iamaleava, now at UCLA. If you look at the article on PFF.com, I wrote this before it all went down in Tennessee, is listed of him in Tennessee, but now he's at UCLA back home in Los Angeles. Obviously, the big story with Nico and his whole family, honestly, is the whole NIL dispute with Tennessee. Led him to miss practice at Tennessee, led Tennessee to move on from him as a quarterback altogether. He transfers over to UCLA as well. With all that aside, though, on the field, Nico is a very talented quarterback. You see right there an 81.7 passing grade this past year. He really started off really slow for Tennessee. In fact, his first 6 games, he had sub-70 passing grades. But in 4 of the final 7 games, he had 75-plus passing grades as well. Led Tennessee all the way to the college football playoff as well. Former 5-star recruit, mentioned before, 81.7 passing grade. It was top 20 in America. 2.5% turnover-worthy play rate, was in the top 30 in the country. Even though in that Tennessee offense, so many vertical throws, so usually you're putting the ball in harm's way more, Nico still took care of the football at a very, very good level. Amazing physical tools. I mean, there's been comparisons out there physically to Justin Herbert, right? He's got the size like Justin Herbert, 6'6", the elastic arm, the rocket launcher arm, really good mobility as well. So there is the physical tools there. I am curious now how he looks like going into UCLA, which is a worse situation. UCLA did not make a bowl game this past year. Supporting cast was not very good for quarterbacks last year. Yes, they did kind of rebuild the entire offense through the transfer portal, but there's a lot of unknowns with UCLA right now. The one thing I will say, listen, I think he downgraded going to UCLA in every way. He's making less money than he did at Tennessee. He's going to a worse team than Tennessee. The one thing that is good about him going to UCLA, though, is that he will play probably in a more pro-style offense than Tennessee. That might help out his NFL evaluation a little bit more. But I'm really curious to see how this move goes for Nico.
Yeah, this is an odd situation in a very competitive Big Ten, right? And you mentioned it. He's got all the tools in the world that you could ask for, right? He's 6'5", 6'6". He's got a huge arm. He can move. You know, and I think the things for me that I want to see from Nico are what made him better down the stretch last year was his ability to make more intermediate throws, more underneath throws with accuracy, right? Because you can't just be that guy, and there's another guy or two on this list that we're going to talk about with this, is you can't just be that guy that chucks the ball deep all the time. And I know that's the big thing, is that's how Tennessee's offense is designed, right? They're going to run the football. They're going to take big vertical shots on the go balls, right? UCLA is not going to be like that, and you're not going to be able to be like that in the Big Ten. Big Ten defenses just don't allow you to do that. Cold weather doesn't allow you to just take deep shots all the time. So I'm very curious to see the transition to a little bit more traditional offense, and if he can adjust to the footwork, adjust and keep improving his underneath accuracy. If he can do that, then you're talking about one of the best quarterbacks in the Big Ten who could put up some really big numbers out there at UCLA. But I think that's what it's going to be now is there's going to be some people with intangible questions. There's going to be people with questions about transition to a new offense, questions about his accuracy, just questions about his supporting cast at UCLA, like you mentioned. So it really is a situation with Nico where by the end of the year, he could be on the top 5 of this list.
Oh, absolutely.
By the end of the year, he could be way off this list in a new situation. So I think this is another situation where it's going to be very fluid. I wouldn't call UCLA a dark horse yet in the Big Ten until we see them on the field. But Nico makes him a little bit of an X factor on any given day. When you have a quarterback that talented, we know it's the most important position on the field, you can turn the tide on some things pretty quickly. So it's going to be a fun situation to watch over there.
Just in terms of physical tools, he might be a top 5 quarterback in America.
Oh, yeah.
Just like it's crazy the amount of physical tools he has. I will say, though, I mean, we just saw Shedeur Sanders fall to the 5th round, probably for a lot of off-field reasons, maybe some reasons due to his father. I wonder if Nico has the same thing in the NFL.
Only time will tell. He's the one, maybe more than anybody else on this list. We just got to get to the season and see what happens.
Yeah, unfortunately, Nico Iamaleava breaking our producer Eli's heart. Big Tennessee fan behind the glass there. We'll see what Tennessee does this upcoming year. But Nico now going to UCLA from Tennessee. Hey, thanks for watching another episode of the PFF College Football Show. Please make sure you guys subscribe to the channel.
Also, subscribe to PFF Plus at subscribe.pff.com for all of the same data and grades that we use in our show, plus fantasy tools, betting tools, and our mock draft simulator.